If the GST, if you do not have a cap on its limit, a limit on the GST, it will be an increasingly regressive tax that will impose greater and greater burdens on the people. Now, you have worked out, Mr. Arvind, I won't name him, but the Chief Economic Advisor's report, all of us, those of us who have read it, and all of us think that they are very, very reasonable economic arguments. That have been economically sound arguments that have been put there. And the revenue neutral rate, the R&R as it's called, the R&R was estimated, and that has already been explained in the House at 15% or 15.5%, whatever that, that exact figure is. But remember, sir, there was an R&R calculated in 2014, which we had then very strongly opposed. And that R&R that was calculated then was 27%. 27%, 12.77% as the central taxes and 13.91% as the state taxes. Now, if you have this sort of an R&R and on top of that you have the bands, you may have bands less than that. But then at a tax rate of around 24%, 25%, that will just cripple the vast majority of our people. And I've said this before, sir, what is the reality today? In the last 1 year, the number of US dollar billionaires in our country, it is reported, have increased from 100 to 150. Wonderful. May the tribe increase. So, as the old saying goes, that is the shining India. What does the 2011 Census Economic Data Report show us? 90% of Indian families, 90%. The bread earner of the family earns less than 10,000 rupees a month. Your census figures. These are the two Indias you already have. And on top of that, if you get a regressive tax regime, you are only widening the hiatus between the two Indias. And that is not the spirit with which our Constitution enjoins us to come to this House to legislate. And therefore, I think it's absolutely necessary that instead of a revenue neutral rate, you start considering what I would call a fair revenue rate. I'm seriously suggesting to the Honorable Finance Minister that this be considered as a fair revenue rate and work on it. By the time you bring the GST bill, you can actually work on a fair revenue rate for the states concerned, and then you have a cap on it, and that assurance must also come.